Ah!
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 Oh god!
We're back with a very low energy and relaxed session of D&D. Uh, with Draigtir today, and we've just finished a big mission, exploring the sewers. Uh, let's have uh, let's have Jamie read us the recap
Oh,
from the last squigglies.
give me 1 second. Adventure log. For the last
And
one.
whilst I find music.
So from seeing a crocodile through the door, up the stairs, the party moved towards it. Oron attempted to intimidate it, and unsure of what reaction to make, the crocodile fled to hide elsewhere. Kalak, however, saw a discrepancy in the ceiling. Moments later, Oron was surrounded by three grey oozes, which dropped down from the ceiling. They corroded Neve and Oron's weapons in the course of the battle after collecting acid from the defeated creatures. Oron managed to wrangle the crocodile, tying it up to bring back. After some time negotiating the path out, they spoke once again to Ranga, who was overjoyed by their clearing out of the underground. It turned out that Ranga's grandfather, a human, had been part of a secret society with a D. Gimp, who had painted a masterful moon picture for Ranga's father, George, 35 years ago. The secret society were perhaps a modern vestige of the moon cult in ancient times. However, Ranga was unaware of this fact. Following this, they returned to the guild hall and traded in their spoils. Lord Ravenbell did not reveal this to Broughton, but he was capable of seeing the spirit that haunted Kalak's new sickle. The elf deemed that she was of good character, but Kalak caught a glimpse of gold-slitted eyes when Ravenbell used his powers to communicate with her. He then revealed that the sickle was cursed unintentionally and would allow the spirit named Farah to influence and even control Kalak. Ravenbell advised that perhaps burying her coal-like remains in places of significance for her may allow her to move on to the afterlife. Then, Ravenbell's daughter, Sherry, barged in, calling Laminaria a peasant and demanding her father helped her in the VIP section. As he was leaving, Ravenbell mentioned a moon ruin inhabited by orcs, one of which wielded a massive sword, much like the sickle. Panak, the barkeep, was apparently the one who posted the quest concerning it. As the party then sold items and commissioned some health potions from the general store, Bronwyn awkwardly waved at Kalak while Laminaria pondered the haunted swamp 25 miles to the east. Meanwhile, Oron bought an entire cow to feed his new pet reptile.
Very good. So that's what's been going on. Before we move on, yeah, she called you a peasant as Garzula. Not Garzula. I'm in the wrong thing. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, Michelle
Laminaria.
was like, yeah, Laminaria. I realized something. We're in the wrong voice channel, therefore I can't play music. So we
Oh.
should probably move to the other voice channel. Will that mess
Yeah.
with the recording?
I'll pause it.
Sure, yeah, I was doing
Be back in a minute. And we're back.
Just me on camera. I am all
Oh
you need
shit,
to
my
see.
camera is gone. Hello, I'm back.
Happy to see your face again.
We'll get
Thank
you.
you, thank
We'll
you.
get you yet. Right. Try this music.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't look good enough for the internet? The internet is. Who gives a shit? No one knows you on the internet.
Yeah. The internet is unimportant and yet completely.
Yeah, and yet ever present, and I would die without it. But
I would be much better with.
I would
Well,
not.
anywho, so we have some options. So you guys are in the market at the moment, and Kelleck's just been waved at by Bronwyn, who's over yonder. What's next on the agenda? Well, let's start with Kellic. What would Kellic like to do?
Well, shit. I was thinking I need to get into character and not be Dane, who I have noticed recently has more in common with me than I would like, but that's fine. Okay, what the fuck's going through Kellec's head? So we just learned. I guess Kellec would want to tell her about the shit we just found. Why not?
Ooh.
So I guess he'll wave at her as he walks towards her.
As you get like close to the corner, you see her peeking round the door frame, and then as you pop around, she just like turns flustered and knocks into this shelf of holy waters, and has to like steady the shelf to stop the mold rolling off. And she sort of straightens and fixes her hair, and it's just like, hello, fancy seeing you here.
I'll hang on. Need to get into the accent to be sure. So, well, hello. I got you at a bad moment.
No, I was just rearranging the shelves.
Fair enough. I'd be happy to help while I'm around, I guess. Have you did I tell you what we're doing in this last contract?
No.
Well,
You told me about the sewer.
oh, not very glamorous, that one, but we did find something interesting. Turns out,
After
now
you.
please, please go ahead.
I was just going to say you don't smell bad.
Oh, well, thank you. It takes a bit of effort after being down there, but I like to think I managed to. Yeah. Well, anyway,
You don't say.
it turns out down there's some kind of altar to what was its name, Money?
An altar, you say? Her demeanor changes. She suddenly gets like, she forgets her awkwardness and is just like, "Tell me more." This altar.
Oh yeah,
No.
full with a shrine, a sculpture, and everything. Pretty
Wow.
sure some kind of sacrifice was being done there. Actually, like 100% sure.
She just goes, long theorized that this area had been used for sacrifices in the past, but none of the city guard could figure out where the sacrifices were occurring. That's quite amazing, to have found that location. And she starts pulling out books and rummaging through them and going, historical accounts have mentioned many missing persons over the years. She starts, like, running her mouth on the subject, basically. And she's just,
Kellogg just listens intently for a bit. When she mentions the several missing persons, we go, we don't know the name of this girl, right? That's hunting me.
The one who's... Yeah, you do. It's Farah.
Farah.
Yes.
I'll go, oh, is there anything in there about a girl named Farah?
She kind of cocks her head to one side and goes, how did you find out her name?
How did we find out her name? Was that something
were
Lord?
Told by Lord Ravenbell.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll go, well, I'll pull out the sickle and go, I might have picked this up, and well, Lord Ravenbell told me it's haunted, meaning now I guess I am.
Huh. She just motions to the table and just goes, set it down if you will. I'd like to have a look.
I have myself up. Can I put it down?
You can indeed put it down.
Okay.
As you do, as it leaves your fingers, though, you realize, well, your perception's so high. Just for a fraction of a second, when you put it down, you see the figure of a girl standing outside the archway of the entrance, with her hands pressed against the barrier.
Oh.
Seems she can't pass through.
In that case, I guess I'll turn around and go, oh, smart girl, you got a barrier here?
Well, of course. This is a place of holy relics, of course.
Right. Well, seems far I can't get in, so I suppose we're safe here. Not that she's not that she's hostile. She's been
I can
nice
allow
enough.
her in if you wish. I mean, otherwise I can actually arrange to speak with her.
Oh,
Of course, the questions I
can?
can have are quite limited, but that's something I can do.
well, I had no clue. To be honest, I was a little lost as to what to do with her.
Maybe instead of showing you more of my secret collection, well, it's not that. Everyone knows I have it. But instead of showing you more of my collection tonight, we could have a question and answer session, perhaps.
Well, that sounds lovely. Of course.
Very well. Then you know where to go. Or failing that, I finish at 8 o'clock. You may walk me home.
I'll keep that in mind. We'll be sure to be here.
And
If I'm
she,
not, don't hold it against me. I'm sure something would have happened, but I'd be fine.
He goes, very well, it's decided. And she sort of looks down and starts studying the sickle. She just goes, very interesting. She goes, perhaps crafted 400 years ago.
400.
Very
It's not even
exquisite.
touched by rust.
Well, such is the way with many magic items. It's, when enchanted, they cease to function by normal physical laws. As if frozen in time.
I can tell you know your stuff here. That
it's quite an interesting property. One that I'm told it took the mages quite some years to practice, but many holy items have this same trait. But it's said that the gods did this first. And the wizards had to learn. But
sounds
it's a
about
stunning
right.
piece. And I would say elvish in design. Although it's reminiscent of two things. One is, of course, the sickle moon. And the shape is very much reminiscent of a dragon's claw.
Oh,
Quite,
I hadn't even thought of that.
well, it's, I suppose, a coincidence, but with all this talk of dragons, perhaps we shouldn't overlook coincidences. She goes, well, don't push yourself when it comes to dealing with this kind of thing. If you need to, just leave this sickle out and leave it behind. It's not worth your life.
Oh, of course, I wouldn't want to throw my life away, but I don't know. It's always a bit of a. It's always a bit hard to let go of it.
Sort of
Like-
cast a wary glance towards the door. It's like, we'll see
You know?
then tonight.
Heart starts beating faster, and don't know, weird feeling. It's like I've had it forever.
Kind of narrows their eyes, and it's just, what's your insight? Actually, roll insight.
Okay, One sec, it's loading. Okay, inside. Bullshit.
You don't know what she feels about this, but she just goes, mm-hmm. And yeah.
Right, weird, I know.
And she goes, quite an unusual piece. There was a job for a similar piece I was quite interested in seeing. If you'd be able to get a hold of it. It's the one with the orc chieftain who has the moon-like blade.
Oh, Curse, I've heard of this. Pretty sure that's where we're headed next.
Oh. Well, if you're able to procure it, I'd be interested in seeing that for comparison.
Right, well, I'd have to talk that over with my my companions, but I'll see what I can do. We'll certainly get you a look at it at least.
Very well. And we'll say we'll leave you to chat for another, say, 10 minutes.
Fair enough.
Sort of further small talk. Is there anything else anyone else wanted to do in the in shops and such? That would be Laminaria. So you've just handed off the ingredients for a few health potions. Those should be ready by sundown today.
Okay. Well, if they're not
that.
ready yet, I'll just wander off, really. Back up. It's not really...
Yeah.
really much
Okey-dokey.
that Laminaria needs, I don't think.
What about Neve? What would your inclination be? Nat?
Sorry, say that again?
What would Neve do?
I don't know. She doesn't really know the area very well. And she doesn't really strike me as the type to go out of her way to go and have a wander. So she'll probably be fairly content with. Oh, is there like a chapel or anything?
Well, Bronwyn's shop is full of holy items. There's, of course, chapels in the city, but not here. You could wander and go find one.
She'll probably ask the barkeep, probably. Ask if there is a chapel for what's her face?
Frigg?
My brain. Yeah.
Which barkeep are you at?
Just one that I recognise.
The friendlier one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put you there.
Did I not write it? Was it Frigg or was it Freya?
It's Frigg, yeah.
It is Frigg. Let me write
Freya's
it
different.
down. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So I will go and ask the friendly barkeep whether or not there is, a shrine, chapel, church.
So initially,
in the city.
So initially, you and Laminaria are going the same direction as you head back upstairs, and then you peel off.
Laminaria changes her mind.
You're going with
stairwell. Thinking, hang on a minute. I've just remembered I need those spell components for my new spells that I've just learned. That's what Laminaria thinks.
Which ones are they?
So spider climb. So I need a drop of bitumen and a spider. That I'll just and then shatter, which needs a chip of mica.
Oh, okay. So both of which I'd say you can get it for.
Okay.
You've got lots of bobs. I won't charge you extra for them. Just because that's how the rules work. But for character-wise, we'll say you spend some time picking, perusing through little bags of gem stuff, finding the right rocks, and you're able to find the components you need after about half an hour of perusing,
Okay.
or say 20 minutes of perusing. So about by that time, Kellek, you've finished your conversation with Bronwyn, and you've gleaned that she's a little concerned about Farah haunting Sickle. Little wary of it, but she's
Fair enough.
confident that you can that if there is something wrong with it, you'll get to the bottom tonight.
I mean, I wasn't expecting to get a spirit board session out of this, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah. She's a little proud of that, you also gather. It's like, not everyone can speak. But yeah. So with that, you see Laminaria finishing up at around the same time. And you guys are reunited. Meanwhile, Oran, your crocodile is stabled. Stabled in we'll say the guild stable's a separate building. But we'll say it's like nearby, say here. And you feed, I'd say.
I'll be right back.
Oh yeah. So you wanted to buy some alchemist tools, is that right?
Yep.
Okay. So you feed some of your rations. Have you written down how many you had left of crocodile from the cow?
Bought a cow. I can't remember. I can't remember how much we decided the cow gave us for rations wise. So
Did you? I wonder if we wrote it down in here. Luke.
we figured out how much it would cost in today's money, and it was like £2,000.
Yeah. I think it was gonna give you like 20 rations or something.
Yeah.
So we'll say you give 4 of said rations to the croc, giving it a nice good feed. And then add the other.
So I've got 16 of 20 cow rations.
Did we take the gold off from that? I think we did.
Yeah, we've already sorted the gold for it.
Yeah. Okay. So now you want to go buy alchemist tool.
Yep.
Funnily enough, that would take you to the same place.
Fine.
So that would be, I think it's 50 gold for those?
Okay. So 50 gold. I'm just going to take this out of party gold. So.
Sure. Double check.
Okay.
Yeah, 50 gold. Go. Yeah, so you're able to pick up a new set of alchemist tools. So of course, this comes with some more, with like a amount of glass beakers and such as well. I think you bought some extras of those, so consider that you've got enough for quite a few chemicals and shit to carry about. But yeah, so you guys are all finished at about the same time. I'll move over to Neve. So Neve, you get speaking to the bartender. And you're asking him where a temple prig is. He says, I do think there's a temple to Frigg. You notice that he's quite cultured sounding, despite his half-orc nature. And he goes, it's 3 roads down, heading to the south. You'll see a large, thatched building.
Building. Okay.
You'll notice it in that it's in wider ground, got a garden side. smaller than the surrounding buildings, and without a slate roof. I've always liked walking past it. Quite a welcoming place, I think.
Okay, thank you. And she'll
Say,
kind of
before you
march off. Oh yeah.
before you go, have you seen the missions board recently?
Hmm. No, we've not. I've not looked at it recently.
All right. Well, when you're interested in taking your next quest, I think since you've proven yourself to Lord Ravenbell, you might want to consider taking the Orc mission up. I posted.
will. Oh. Carry on.
He kind of goes. Yeah. He kind of goes. Yes. It was. It was me who posted that. So, of course, if you're interested in doing it, want to talk to me about it.
Okay, I will keep that in mind.
All right. Just so you know. Take care then. You see, when he talks about that, he seems a little more sullen than usual. His normal sort of broad isn't as present. He looks a bit more grim. What was that?
I said, murder him. He's one of those.
He's one of them. Kill me, dog. Right. So you had to Frigg's temple.
She scurries off.
All right. So as he said, 3 roads down to the south, you see a thatched building surrounded by sort of a homely yard. There's vines surrounding the iron fence, and you can see it has a wide open archway for its entrance. Large double doors made of mini oak, and you can see there's a large hearth inside. And inside there are people sitting on comfy benches and such. It's quite an inviting place. And as you get closer, one of the sort of robed attendants waves you in. And then as you get closer, and he sees the symbols on your armor and your shield, he bows low. And he goes, by Frigg's grace, I had not expected to see a paladin of Her Lady. You're most welcome.
I'm just looking for a place to pray.
By all means, you grace us with your presence. And he goes, if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to ask. I'm here to serve.
Of course. She just kind of feels dead awkward about it, and just kind of he sort of sidesteps and goes to find like a nice quiet little corner.
Well, being paladin of Frigg, they're not very strict. They're very what's the word? They're quite informal, quite talkative, and quite generous. Monks of the order. Your training would have mainly consisted on how to identify threats to peace, and how to identify sort of people in need, ways to intervene safely, ways to defuse conflict and such, but also like methods to put people at ease. So you're very used to, I would say, people being sort of very, very welcoming in that way.
Okay.
But yeah, apart from that, what are you sort of aiming to do here?
More that she just wants a quiet place to sit and pray, and obviously a temple is probably the best place to pray to her goddess.
Okay. All right. So you spend some time sort of calming down, finding your center, as it were, and starting to pray. Make a perception check.
Perception. Oh dear, that's only a 5.
Okay. Interesting. So you become completely oblivious to your surroundings, and you kind of start basking in sort of the warmth of your god's domain. Make a religion check as well.
18.
Cool. And it's not long before you think you go into that sort of quiet place in your head where you can hear your god's voice from time to time. It's not often that you hear her voice sort of distinctly. Usually it's kind of an intuition or sort of a sense of rightness that you get. But in this case, you do perceive a voice. And it says, "Long have I sought the bloodline guardian. I only exist to serve. Where could she be?"
The bloodline guardian. Sorry, was that physical or?
You hear it in your mind.
Yeah, in my mind. She just kind of whispers, "My lady."
Someone has answered my call. My lady, is it her? Can you hear me?
I can.
Most unusual. The bloodlines converge. Most wonderful. Hurry to me.
Hurry where?
I am in much need. I was told that you would know where to go.
Do I know where to go?
I will... This is most unusual. Perhaps take this. It will guide you to me, I think. It's nice to meet you. There's so much I want to say, but, wait, it's fading. Hello? And you hear the voice kind of fade out. But, when you sort of come to, you feel something in your hand. In your palm.
Did I get the feeling, was that Frigg or was that someone else?
You got the feeling it was someone else.
Okay. Okay. And what is in my hands?
You open your palm and you see a sort of bronze-colored scale. It's about the size of a 2-pound coin.
Do I recognize what it might have come from?
Roll a nature or religion check.
12.
You're not sure entirely, but some of the religious tomes that you've studied, they mention celestial beasts. Some of them have scales, such as this. It's certainly not a dragon scale. It's much too small and much too fine.
Okay.
It's very supple and flexible.
Okay.
Other than that, when you do come out of your sort of reverie, you kind of get a sense of mirth from the area around, as if the lady is pleased that you've made this development. Kind of like, oh, you've met that friend I've been wanting you to meet for ages. You know.
Okay. In which case, wow, that's what I'm after. No, okay. That didn't do what I thought it did. No, it's fine.
What didn't?
No, it's fine.
What do you?
I was checking how my divine sense worked.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, just from experience. From experience, you think that it would bring up this area as consecrated at the very least.
Yeah, sorry, they don't really do what I thought it might have done. It's fine. So.
Wait.
What?
What did you think it might do?
No, I wondered if it would tell me like a type of like celestial or.
No.
Thingy, yeah. Oh, it says you know the type celestial, fiend, or undead, but not like a general sense of what kind of celestial. That's fine. In which case, so hang on a minute. Let me write this down.
Okay.
I've got terrible. I've got terrible memory.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. So, so she said she was in need, but she didn't really say who she was.
That's true.
But she was celestial in nature.
You suspect? It was a female voice, and it said that she existed to serve. She was also waiting for the Bloodline Guardian, and she mentioned that the Bloodlines had converged. And she told you to come to the location. But not how to. So.
Alright, I'm typing this.
Anything else whilst you're at the temple?
Yes.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me finish typing.
Okay. Sometimes we gotta make notes when Pete throws the curveball.
Okay, so the guy that she spoke to earlier.
Yeah.
I would like to hunt him down.
Okay. He's at the door, passing out food and drinks and water. Okay. He's basically just going from person to person, caring for them. And he goes,
what was his name?
He didn't tell you yet, but he goes,
okay, that's fine.
Greetings, my lady. Is everything in order? Can I get you anything?
Maybe, although not that. As you kind of like gestures to the refreshments, as she'll say, is there anything in our text about beings that serve?
Being served?
That they serve Our Lady.
Oh, something else than human mean?
Yes. So I think celestial.
By all means, let's follow me. Let's take a look at the catacombs, shall we? I've I very much like helping with this kind of inquiry. And when it comes to speculation, advice, you can count on us. And he leads you down into the back, down some stone steps, and into sort of a catacomb that's filled with scrolls and it's nice and sort of warm and dry down here. If you imagine that scene from Lord of the Rings when Gandalf's researching how the ring works. It's like
big ass books and stuff.
Yeah, it's really crowded and full of stuff, but it's it's very cozy down there. And he sits you down on the table, and then he says, "Now you were interested in beings that helped our goddess, is that right?"
She said she existed to serve.
Existing to serve. Well, serving is one of our core tenets, as I'm sure you know. But perhaps we can get more specific. And he starts pulling. Oh.
I suspect something with golden scales.
Golden scale. Oh, curious. And he starts pulling down tomes, and he arranges 3 before you. Instead, he goes, "You go through this one. I'll go through this one, and then we'll leave the third for whoever finishes first. We'll make a game of it." And he starts going through. For about say 20 minutes it takes you to leaf through that first one. You see plenty of creatures. The closest you can see so far seems to have a trunk and wings, but that doesn't have scales. And you make a history check.
Oh dear. Oh, where's that? There's a 3.
Yeah, he finishes first and he gets to the second book and he goes, "Ha ha! I am the big bookworm, it seems." He grins. And he starts going through. He makes it through the.
She's wise, not intelligent.
And it's on like the 3rd or 4th entry of this book. He stops and goes, "Ah, scales! Look at that, quite beautiful." And he turns the book around and shows here, and it looks a lot like a horse. Only it's kind of got a stag's antlers. And it's a very graceful and beautiful creature, very long-legged. And it's labeled as a Kirin.
Okay. That could possibly be it.
Well, these are incredibly rare, I hear. They're free spirits. They hate confinement. And they do exist to serve the land around them and the people and their relations. They're very elusive and very secretive creatures. According to the book, at least. If you have had contact with one, I'd say you're a very lucky paladin.
I mean, time will tell if it's luck or something else. Do you know anything, and do I know anything for that matter, about a bloodline guardian?
Ponders for a minute, goes, not ringing any bell. Would you like me to research further on it? I can start digging out some other books.
I would appreciate it. I wasn't given much to go on. Or I am to help her. And apparently I know where to find her.
Such divine signs can always be perplexing and imprecise, but
yes,
we try not to sweat the small stuff.
but specifically, she said that she had been waiting for the Bloodline Guardian, and then when I answered her, she said that the bloodlines had converged.
Greetings. I'll have to get out some family history books, perhaps.
Perhaps.
Say, that ring you wear, may I... He sort of holds his hand out to inspect.
She'll take it off and let him look there.
So your family, have you put your family's last name in?
How about 4?
Because I need to... If he's gonna say it, I need one of us to know it.
Give me a second. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Bethel.
Ethel?
Bethel.
Bethel. Okay. I'm gonna put it on your character sheet. Do you mind?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Spelt like so?
Bethel, I think it was. I think. Should I stick with Bethel? Oh no, wait, that is not on that list. No. Okay, hang on. Let's go with. Oh my gosh, go away. No.
Maybe I will. Go away right now.
Crowther. Crowther. That's a bit more interesting.
Crowther?
Yeah. Crowther.
Crowther?
Yes. Crowther, maybe?
Crowther. There be crows there. Cool. He goes, well, that's a starting point. I take it you're from the noble house Crowther.
That I am.
That will certainly inform my reading. It'll take me a bit to find these old genealogy books, though.
That's fine. I'm at the guild. The
very
Adventurers
well.
Guild.
Would you like me to come find you when I'm done?
Please, or if I'm not there, leave a message, and I'll come as soon as I can.
Well. And he goes, my name's Aaron, by the way.
Neve.
And he takes your hand, shakes it warmly, and goes, it's a pleasure to meet you, Neve. I take it you prefer Neve over Lady Crowther.
Goodness, yes.
As I prefer, Aaron. And he goes, very well. Well, you're welcome to use these facilities. I'll go check on my visitors, and but believe you me, I'll have this figured out by next day.
I appreciate it.
And he leaves you to it down there. So feel free to leave when you're satisfied, unless you want to
She'll
do some
probably
research.
go. She'll probably sort of go straight away.
Okie dokie. So you start making your way back to the tavern, but you've probably spent, I would say, at least an hour over there now. So, so meanwhile, the other guys, it's let me see, what time is it? It's still fairly early, and I'd say no more than lunchtime. What else are you up to?
Oran wants to go and try and make the smoke bombs we discussed a couple of sessions ago.
Oh, which? It was the not expensive one.
Yeah, you said like 50 gold, same as an alchemist fire for
those ones. Okay, so that one.
We'll put the effect somewhere. we put the effect in some chat somewhere.
It was this one, yeah. Smoke grenade, basically.
Mm.
Yeah. Okie dokie, so they are... see. So 50 gold each, isn't it? Do you have... So if you can get a hold of, say, tar and bitumen, you could build these at half cost.
Okay, well, I don't have a hold of them just now, so
Yeah,
I'll
we'll have
just
to...
build these at full. Well, I only want one. So
Okay.
imagine
yeah,
it's
you
like a
can-
test run.
let's see, because you're making it yourself. I'd say you could halve the cost anyway.
You want me to roll?
Yes. So roll alchemist tools with intelligence. We'll say you and give me 2 rolls for 2 smoke grenades. Okay. So the first one is a failure, unfortunately, and it blows up. It blows up in a sort of liquid explosion of blackness, coats your armor. It takes you a little bit to wipe it all off, but the second one you're able to get the sort of you're able to get the mixture right, and it sits in a stable form until ignited.
I'll just say that costs maybe 50 gold anyway.
Yeah, so 50 gold for one either way. But yeah, we did be able to halve the cost again if you find some ingredient. Keep your eyes open for tar and bitumen, for black sticky stuff that can produce.
Okay.
Some certain types of tree sap might also be useful.
So
Sounds like an evolutionary disadvantage to just be really flammable, but
Yeah, tree sap's really flammable. That's how they. If you've heard of fat wood or heartwood, have you heard of
I kinda rings a bell, but I'm not sure.
it's basically where where the branch joins the trunk, all the sap gathers, especially if the branch dies. So it'll all gather. So if you like pull down a dead branch, the bit right near the trunk will be saturated with sap, and if you like flake off bits of that wood, it's super flammable.
Oh, I didn't know
And,
that.
like, yeah, it's like a ready-made tinder.
I'll keep that in
Yeah.
mind, just in case.
what's the duck and raven?
Yeah, survival tips.
Pete's proficiency and survival coming through. But yeah, so you're able to make a smoke grenade. Do you want the text for it?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind. So I can just
Sure.
copy paste it into it.
Hang on. Bits. 2 seconds. We go. Perfect. All right. So whilst he is doing that, I imagine that's in your room that you're doing that. What are the other two doing? Just dossing around, or anything else you want to do?
I'm not really sure. I don't have the money to go shopping.
What do you want? Just take out the party gold or something that's within that.
Oh, we do have a bunch of party gold, that's true.
Right. Which depends what you want.
Is it all in the Oron's cart bit?
Yeah.
For now, I
Yeah,
think it
so
is, yeah.
Dungeon bag's a bag of holding. And then there's the Oran's cart, which just has the stuff that's on his cart.
I mean, I was honestly just looking to see if that was even an option. I didn't have anything in mind, so...
In total, I guess you've got about 160 gold. Like that.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit, but... I don't
You do
know.
For some-
There's also other stuff we could sell. There's a spare breastplate and stuff sitting on the cart.
Yeah, I guess getting rid of stuff we don't need could be a decent use of our time.
Sure. So if you want to go sell that breastplate, get rid of it on the thingy.
Yep, one sec.
And sell it to Moore's dad.
Breastplate.
One breastplates.
Deleted it is. It is indeed one breastplate.
So that he offers you 220 gold for it. The friend's rate for Drew Moore's mate.
Ooh, nice. I'm not gonna attempt to haggle because I'm shit at it. I'm just gonna add that to the group gold. So 327.
Cool.
I'd also like to go and check on my chickens and see if there's any more eggs that they have.
There. Roll a 3d20s. There are, in fact, 6 eggs.
Nice.
Which means one of them has gone ham. And
Oh yeah.
one of the chickens rolled a 20 for eggs. So, I mean,
I think you mean one of them has gone nugget.
yeah. One of them's gone chicken. Gone drumstick. The one who's laid a whole bunch of eggs.
Which is exhausting, I can imagine.
I know I would be.
It's silky chicken, which is very good. Because, did you... I don't think you said you were going to fertilize these eggs, so they're just tasty.
No. I'm keeping Mr. Boy away from my chickens just now.
He eyes you malevolently as you,
Yeah,
let
poor
it-
Mr. Boy.
He's like, I want to be near the chicken. But,
We're all Mr. Boy.
But yeah, that's with that, I'll say, do you guys want to meet up, say, at the tavern and talk about the next mission? What's the next plan? You want
I mean, that sounds like a good plan.
to? Okay. We'll say you spend the rest of the day just sort of relaxing in the tavern. It's not long before you're joined by Neve as well. And have any of you gone to pick up the mission briefing?
Nope.
No.
The mission what, sorry?
The mission briefing for the orc mission.
I'm still lost. What about it?
Could we pick it up?
It's upstairs.
Yeah,
in
I
the-
was gonna
so
say-
Go and get it.
here is where they'd be.
And gone whereabouts.
Up here, this is where all the listings are. But yeah, you see on the board, there's a lot of missions that look a little out of your skill range. The one with the rats is actually being taken down. It's actually, well, it's been crossed off and put in the sort of victories notice board.
Well,
So you've contributed to keeping the area safe. So good job.
the quest completed board.
Yeah.
So,
And you do see that your names have also been noted on the completed board. So that's some prestige for you.
Nice.
But yeah, you see there's people... It's obvious that there's people who are better hunters than you in the guild. But there's also sort of many mundane type of listings, you know, things like that. The one that's like newest seems to be the orc one. You take that, and what it says is growing orc threat. Orc chieftain Valley the Slayer has set up a base in a stronghold in a ruin 3 hours to the east. Reward is offered of 1,500 gold for proof of his defeat and demise.
Ooh.
Defeat and/or demise, actually, it says. And it says, see, Barkeep. What was his name again? I always forget his. Seconds, I'll find it.
Well, that's a handy sum.
Yeah. Where on earth? It's not Ranga. Oh, where is Panak? There it is. For more information, see Panak. Working at the bar downstairs. And you see as well the details of the funding are on it in the small print. You see that this has been 1/3 funded by Panak himself, and the rest has been fronted by the guild. The threat is listed as a threat to the city, as it is fairly close to it, and it notes as well that there have been about 5 raids in the last 2 years of increasing severity. There were 2 deaths last year because of it. So, yeah, 1,500 that is.
Wonder what Panak's got to do with it.
Yeah. So you are you bringing it back down, Laminaria?
Sure.
Okay. So you bring it back down, and are you showing the rest as well whilst you're chilling?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're all up to date on the specifics. Got 2 of you in here. Excuse me.
Want to pick up on weapons after we set to prepared.
I heard they have a moon blade. Quite interested in that.
I'm sure.
And
lots of people would be interested in that too.
Barkeep sort of heads over to refill your glasses, and he sees the poster sitting on the sort of futon in front of you, and he just goes, "Ah, looks like you found my quest."
Ah, Garth, you set this one up yourself, didn't you?
Aye, that I did. I'm Panak.
Oh, nice to meet you. Name's Skellig.
Nice to meet you as well. And he goes, I heard you were successful with the rats, and not only that, but you made some more scaly kills as well. Quite impressive.
This one over here did more than kill him. I just point at Oren.
Got Mr. Smiles out of it too. Rescued him from that horrid place.
He goes, I did hear you actually tamed one. That's quite a feat in itself.
Tame? No. Just got a rope around and let it up the top. It's in the stables just now. Don't get too close.
Noted. He's like, he seems a little bemused by it, but he's grinning at the prospect. And he goes, well, did you have any questions about the location, or? the targets.
You said this orc band's been here for a couple years, right?
Yes, and they've been growing in number. I've been there personally, actually.
You have?
Yes.
Bet there's
roll,
a story behind that. Oh, sorry.
You got a son there.
I was gonna say roll insight.
That's a 17.
So Kellek, and Oron, you notice that this is personally painful for him to talk about. Yeah, you suspect he's been there before, and that he experienced something terrible there. Something he'd rather put behind him, Oron. But
Oron does that laddish thing with his elbow, then nudges Kayla and goes, "Looks like our man likes it rough."
I'm sorry?
There's sort of there's like a wry smile from Panak, and he goes, well, that's kind of the thing. You see, the chieftain in charge of that tribe, if one can call it that, it's more of a warband. See, the chieftain's my father.
Oh?
My mother didn't survive childbirth. Human biology is a bit more fragile than orc biology, unfortunately. But
so is
when
it
I was
true? Do they just burst out of the stomach like?
He goes kind of quiet and just kind of doesn't acknowledge that bit. But he goes like, well, I went back there as when I was fully grown. What I got was this for my trouble. And he lifts up his shirt. And you see there is a horrific scar all the way down his chest to his hips.
Wear that proudly.
God damn.
And he goes,
that must have been a hell of a wound.
Well, I almost didn't make it. But that's the thanks my father gave me coming back to him after all those years.
So you want us to thank him back?
Well, since then, I decided to renounce ways of violence. I thought it's much nicer to serve people in the bar. Foster positive interaction, peace, but I'd rather distance myself from my father's savage ways. But
Kellek will sort of look down at the thought of letting go of violent ways.
It's not a path for everyone. he sort of grins and goes, we can't all be warriors, but I think we each have our role, and I'd like my role to be one of bringing smiles to.
Oh, all this talk of roll's getting me hungry.
Very noble. You know what? I'd like to help you put this affair in order.
It won't be easy. There are, of course, people. Well, no matter how experienced you are, it wouldn't be easy. But this one could be quite risky. The warband is quite sizable, and I'd say it's only gotten larger over the years. Every day, another orc may join him. But I'd say there's too many for you to fight head-on. They're dug into that ruin, and they killed the elves who once inhabited it.
You have a better idea?
Yeah, let's join them. We get in on the inside, and then we fight our way out.
Something like that, perhaps. But I would suggest using cover of darkness or some other ruse in order to get inside. With many orc tribes, if you cut off the head of the snake, the rest fall in line. And without a strong leader, the warriors disperse in search of better leadership.
Of course. No real civilization, merely fall in line by fear.
Well, they are nomadic by nature.
So all you're telling me is to get a bunch of employees, all I need to do is be stronger than the other.
If they'll follow a man, I would say I got enough black for being half. You'd have a hard time
really
convincing,
strong.
but I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Well, if any man has a chance, I bet that's Oren.
I don't doubt it. If his blade's as sharp as his tongue, I think he'll do fine. But even if you are able to isolate Father, you won't be able to defeat him in single combat. He's killed hundreds of men.
Prove it.
My advice would be, use his pride against him. If you can goad him into taking all of you on at once, alone, you'll have a chance.
Ah, like the way you think. Use your praise habits against it.
Well,
I feel like I'm being goaded right now into single combat.
I really don't advise it. He goes, many more experienced warriors have tried. Not that I'm saying you're inexperienced. He's claimed many lives.
Aye. Oren, let's stick together for this one. Really don't want to just lose you in a random battle. Already came close enough with the rats.
I'm lying until my house is built.
He's not. What? Somewhere out there, there's a house that's ruined by stupid
Ruined by whatever creature walked through the middle of my house.
slimed it all up as well.
Good.
But,
well, sure, good to
just-
know you feel that way.
Oh, I'm just here until the building insurance covers all the building dues.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get to it. The guild is good for that kind of thing, especially if it's in their interest.
That it is.
Well, anyway, that's my advice on the subject. Don't fight the fortress head on. Pick them off, or go in stealthily. Use my father's pride against him. And, as much as it pains me to say it, claim his head. I think there's no saving that relationship, and it's for the good of the people that his reign of terror is end.
Imagine that's how people dealt with like people they didn't like.
Once
Yep,
upon a
just
time.
Just go kill them.
Yeah, basically. Anyway, I heard you're hungry. I'll go get some of the meat scraps. Yeah, he walks off. And comes back a little while later with like a plate of pork scratching and like sort of like a plate of pulled pork type of thing, but with crispy bits, fatty bits. Puts it in front of you and says, "I wish you all the best. Don't die. Don't underestimate him." And so he goes back to his duties. So you're so lunchtime becomes early evening, and you're it's coming up to closing time for the shop. Who's next? So who had errands in the night? I think one of you were picking up. Some of you were picking up potions, and Kella,
Also
you
picking
had
up our repaired weapons too.
yes. Okay, so you're going for weapons. Laminaria, what about you? Sorry, not Laminaria. Neve,
What's okay?
what are you planning for the evening?
She's not got anything planned.
Okay, so I'll have you following. I'll have you following Laminaria.
Okay.
All right. So we'll carry on with that after a quick break.
Cool.
Oh my gosh! In the what?
Oh.
I knew he fell asleep. The son of a bitch.
After that, we'll catch up with you all later.
kill some orcs. I mean, recruit some orcs.
I think we might only get out there today. I think that might only matter. But we'll see. Maybe not. So like, yeah, let me know. Are we good to go?
We are.
Okay, sweet. So we're back at it, and we're about to do some. Oh, first of all, there was a task. There was a chore you had to do that I forgot to mention. So you picked up lots of rations in fresh meat.
Yep.
There's a smoke here, and in order to prevent the meat from spoiling, you're gonna have to process the raw meat. I'll say per ration, it's 1 silver. To
Some smoked crocodile meat.
yeah, same for your cow. So you
Yeah,
I
can
wonder what
basically
it tastes like.
If it's
apparently
eating 4 rations a day, will it spoil in 5 days?
the cow it
4 days.
can,
4 days there.
I'd say yeah, like 3-4 days, sometimes less depending on the meat. Cow's
Yeah.
fairly good. Cow wouldn't spoil quite as fast, but crocodile would.
Yeah, the crocodile's for us, so I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
a monster and feed the crocodile meat.
Oh right, yeah.
So it's gonna cost us 14 silver.
I don't know if it would mind. I've seen
No, I don't
videos
think
of crocodiles like biting each other's legs off and shit. I think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
fine.
Well, so it's gonna cost 14 silver for the smoked rations.
Yeah, and then you can take that crocodile meat disclaimer off the rations. Same for the cow, but as you say, the
Oh,
cow keep a bit
I'm gonna know
longer.
what we're eating.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so do government rules. Take that label with what details off of the box.
But at least for now, you won't have to worry about it spoiling.
Yeah, okay.
So, how many health potions order?
We have 4 on us. And then I think we had 2 being made, right?
Oh yeah, it was 2. And I think you paid for that already.
Yep.
So yeah, Lemonaria and Neve, you guys get handed 2 health potions, freshly made by your resident handyman. You were picked.
Sorry.
This guy over here, the general store owner,
Yeah.
so has alchemy ingredients and stuff like that. So he's your health potion guy. Apart from, unless you want to get Braun to do it, or Oron to do it.
No, I'm
rather.
just wondering how many it was. How many was it that we got? Were we haggling?
2.
2. Right.
Diggity 2.
I can pop them in the cart if we want.
There you go. I'll put them in there. I'll put them in the. I've got a bag of holding anyway, I think.
Yeah, it's
Me too.
on.
In there.
To consolidate because I've got stuff that I've been listed in the bag of holding too.
Should I remove the bag of holding thing?
It's because I've got a bag of holding on me. That's what it is. I think it's a second.
You've got a
bag.
second?
Yeah,
A second one?
Apparently.
Ooh. I don't think you've got a second.
I don't know.
Remove
Unless you got
the
confused.
handle. Yeah, remove the handle. We don't need the handle. There's nothing in that one.
Yeah, we don't need that. Right, I'm deleting it. Boosh.
Yeah, but Rochelle, if you look on the handle, it's Oron's cart. If you go and scroll at the bottom of that, I've got a list that just says dungeon bag that I've just been assuming is the bag of holding.
Ah, okay.
So if you want to just either put the stuff that you have in that one, or take the stuff.
You may as well change the name. You may as well change the name of it to bag of holding as well, just so.
Never.
What equipment were you picking up from the smith? It was. What were you after?
Oron's pike that was getting repaired.
Oh yeah, and Laminaria's.
And,
sorry, Neve's sword, right?
Yeah, Neve's sword. And then
Yeah.
I'll need to pick up a great sword and a heavy crossbow.
My Spanish brain invariably salivates at this sight of 1 pound of saffron.
Well, I'll put 1 healing potion in there for somebody else to have, and if it's alright if I keep hold of one of them, just because I haven't got one on me.
I mean,
that's...
like I said, if you look in the cart too, there's also another 4.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine by me, keep 1.
So Yeah, the weapons we sent for repair, and also a great sword and a heavy crossbow for Oron.
So, do you remember the info you learned on the orc dude last?
Yeah,
Okay, so you sure you want a greatsword?
I don't know if that's actually a great sword. It could be a long sword that he's wielding in two hands.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Do
give
you?
me spoilers.
So it's
Are you
45 gold.
sure you want to do this?
I'm just trying to help. Anyway, so it's 45
Yeah.
gold for a great sword. That's Drew Moore friend, right?
Okay.
And
And then how
what
much
else?
for the crossbow? The
Heavy
heavy
crossbow?
crossbow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another 45.
So 90 gold pieces, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, how much if I sell this light crossbow?
A light cross. You can sell that for 15.
50. So in total, it's only going to cost me 75 gold pieces.
Yeah.
I'll do that then. So
Cool.
75 gold pieces. Take me time.
Okay. So is that you on the? Ah,
And that's all. That's all Oron wants. He's got his smoke bomb and he's got his great sword and his heavy crossbow.
brilliant. Just as a note, the pet store owner still has the griffin. See, it looks sadly out of its. Somebody buy me! But aside from that, you catch Bronwyn as she closing up, and she gives you a big grin. Kellic and goes, well then, to my place.
To be sure.
And she she sort of happily links arms and strolls out. Sort of happily chatting about her customers that she's had. She's like, oh, I had the strangest old woman there. Looking around and not buying, just putting her greasy mitts on everything. I had to go around and wipe down everything after.
Oh, aye. Know quite a few old women like that. Nothing better to do with their time.
Don't like to be rude, but at least wash your hands before handling all the reliquaries. And she's like,
not everyone's used to being around so many precious items.
Well, not everyone appreciates it. Anyway, I ended up giving her some sort of charm for a grandchild.
Huh,
she was
that's
happy
nice of you.
that. She did give me the strangest sense, though, that she was looking for something else, but I couldn't get her to tell me what it was.
Huh. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about it.
And, so yeah, you go off, and you go off to hers. You arrive at her mansion a couple minutes later, and she leads you to the sort of drawing room, or I should say to a lounge, like the main lounge. She spends a minute arranging the furniture, so there's like space for you to relax, and she brings out the meat and stuff. She lets you sample a different one, made a couple of fields over by different bees. And this one is fully finished, and it's delicious.
You really have a gift for this, I tell ya. Even the previous one was great, but this one... I can really tell the difference once the process has been finished.
She's like, these ones got most of their nectar from the wild honeysuckle there. And you can tell the flavor is more delicate because of it. I thought it was quite interesting, but it's one of my favorites.
I can see why. It's got some subtle hints to it. Really nice.
She just, anyway, let's talk about that ghost of yours. Can't handle the praise. It's just like, so, shall we begin?
Right. Not entirely sure how, but I'll follow your lead.
She goes, it's best to plan out in advance what questions we'd like to ask. Have you thought
Alright.
it through? You'll have, let's see. She says you'll have 5 questions,
Right.
so it's best to think in advance of at least 3 of them. Say?
Well, I suppose I'd like to ask about it might be too general, but I guess I'd like to know what it wants, why it's. Well, I guess I know why it's hunting me. I'll just sort of grip the sickle for a little bit and go. But you know, if it'd prefer to rest, or if it has some sort of unfinished business. Heard that's a big thing.
Can be best to lay them to rest. Otherwise they can become hostile towards mortals. And that's never good.
Well, right, but if I had something to finish and people were insisting on laying me to rest, I know I'd be angry. So I suppose asking's always good.
I suppose. I think that's a good plan to start. And we can see where it goes from there. She goes,
Right. I'm sure more
right.
questions will come up from that.
Well, if you're ready, I am. She starts burning some incense.
Oh shit. Ready as I'll ever be?
And he goes, if anything happens, I've got this.
Of course, I trust you.
And she closes her eyes and starts casting the Speak with Dead spell. Okay. So this is interesting because it's not targeting a corpse. Instead, it's targeting something that's here but not corporeal.
Mhm.
So what happens is the glasses in the room start to resonate, and the candlelight, the lamplight dims and flickers of its own accord, and you get the sense that someone's sitting on the couch right next to you. And in fact, you even see an indent where they'd be sitting.
Shit.
And you feel the temperature in the room goes slightly down. Not uncomfortably, but it is perceptible. And you hear like a whisper from the glasses that resonate. A kind of musical voice that says, to be able to speak again. You've summoned my presence. You may ask me anything.
Well, shite. It worked. I... Curse. Well, Farah, I was wondering, I don't know much about your situation. Would you prefer I help you get laid to rest, or have you unfinished business here?
There's kind of a resonance as it comes in again, and it's like, for many long years I have laid in that tomb, laid on that altar, Before I pass away, I would like to see the sights that I saw in life. My memory is hazy, but there are places that were dear to me. When I died, I was young. Only 17, 16 or so. Hazy, I don't even remember. But I should like to see some places. Bury parts of me there, and I shall be satisfied.
Right. Would I'll pull out the radiant coils, not coils, coals, and be like, these are the parts here, right? I should bury this wherever. I guess I feel wherever you tell me, however you can. That is one of these sites.
You hear, she goes, in life, I was a friend to nature, and it was through nature that I was seduced. I should like to return to it. I will let you know when we reach a place.
Right. Shit. I'm really sorry for everything. I can't imagine what it's like to just. Well, actually, can you remember? Do you know how or why you were sacrificed here? Who did it? Anything at all?
He was very handsome. He's from my tribe, saying that I was beautiful, that I was to be his bride. But it was a lie. I was only valuable for my inexperience. Such things have magic power.
Were you sacrificed to money? Then is that the statue I found near the altar? Money.
Money.
Money. But
I would say that it is because of money that I remain. The ritual did not quite go to plan.
I see.
My spirit was supposed to have been lost. I only learned this afterwards, from how angry they were. The master was truly furious, and it made me happy to see.
I think I only have 1 or 2 questions left. I have not been keeping track, even though I probably should have, and it's only 5, which shouldn't be hard, but you know, here we are.
I think you've got 1. Am I right, everyone else?
Sounds right. Well, it's not like it's the last time we'll ever talk. I'm sure we can do this again, but do you remember I suppose what cult it was that sacrificed you, or in whose name this happened? Because if they're still around, I sure as hell would like to stop them. That's simply horrible.
The doctrine was perverted. It was not what it was originally. The master worshipped a great dark dragon, one of war and nothing to do with the moon, except how brightly his rage. He's a dragon of death and despair, one that will return.
Well, this sounds familiar. But not okay, like it doesn't. Well, at least I'm assuming it doesn't. Can I roll religion or something?
Sure.
That's 16.
Ah. Great capitalist man. There is a legend, of course, of Nidhogg. You are aware of this legend. We'll say the Elven libraries are pretty good for this kind. The ideology doesn't quite match, though. You notice there's not much about war in Nidhogg's legend.
Right.
16, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Roll a history to see how that compares.
Okay. Oh shit! Not terribly educated, but he knows this shit.
My secret!
Nose.
Oh! For fuck's sake. This changes my whole plan, you dickhead.
See, 99 check. Out of here.
For fuck's sake. Alright, fucking hell. So it's not a religious legend, but something else does come to mind when you think of how important war was in their doctrine.
Mm-hmm.
And in the days when dragons ruled this land, there was a particular type of dragon that was most feared. And this dragon is said to have brought strife wherever it goes. And it's particularly insidious because it can disguise itself in human form.
Ooh.
And what it does is promote conflict wherever it goes. Sometimes over many hundreds of years, it can foment wars and family disputes which spiral out of control to become giant battlefields of slaughter where thousands die. Some of the great epic battles of history are suspected to have been started by a strife dragon.
A strife dragon. I see.
You even recall what they look like to some extent.
Ooh.
It's said that that in such climactic battles, these strife dragons may leave their human form and appear on the battlefield in order to take part in the carnage.
Mm-hmm.
And they're said to have green and red scales. And they're even said to wear armor for the occasion. Such dragon armor is the best in existence, basically. Although if you can get it to fit human form, you'd be very lucky.
Okay.
But these dragons are almost worshipped as deities of smithing because of this. What do they hoard? They hoard heroes and the corpses of heroes.
Oh shit.
So, I hear it on the horizon. Dun, dun, dun,
I need a hero.
dun, dun. There's
And,
evil Christmas jingle as the dragon crawls over the Christmas trees.
But they're one of the most feared dragons, but they were thought to have all died out. You see if I can remember this. Does anyone remember? Fuck it, I'll do it this way. No, yeah. That's pretty much what you can remember. The other thing is, it's suspected that by them appearing on the battlefield, it's kind of a mating strategy. That, like, this is how they find each other when in disguise. So, some Strife Dragons would join armies as, like, mercenaries and things like that, and they'd search for the biggest battles they could possibly find. And whenever a Strife Dragon reveals itself in the battle, they too would reveal themselves. And then you've got a dragon pairing, and that's even worse because two dragons working together, very bad.
Yeah.
So, you recall the Strife Dragon, and the initial points seem to fit.
So, I think the Strife Dragon is somehow related to whoever sacrificed Farah, right?
Yeah. The ritual that she describes,
Mm-hmm.
or the entity that she describes, is more like a Strife Dragon than a dragon god.
Well, shite.
Than at least one of the dragon deities.
This sounds like a proper problem. I don't suppose actually, Strife Dragons might very well be back.
What? What's that? Bronwyn sort of exclaims.
A Strife Dragon? Never heard of them? Green and red. Like to incite battle. Heard they do it to mate, which I can kind of understand.
You do what to mate?
Well, right. So, from what I remember, could be wrong. This particular type of dragon meets their mates while in a battle. The bigger the battle, the more likely it is to, lure a good mate.
That's highly barbaric. I don't approve.
Well, right.
I would struggle to condone such a marriage. Where did you learn this?
They are dragons. It's not like they have to follow our rules. Where did I learn this? This is a good question. Been quite a few years. I assume
in a very obscure elvish library.
I assume it was some of my companions might have told me. Been trading stories in around campfires for so long. It gets hard to track where each one came from.
Well, that's certainly news to me. I have some information on dragons, but they're not deities, so it's not really my field. Maybe...
Right. Leave whatever can be hunted to me. Not that I'd like to hunt one of these. Way too dangerous.
If they're as bad as you say, I'd rather you didn't. Don't you have enough on your plate already with the ghost?
Oh, yeah. Right. I promise not to go looking for it. At least not for now.
I'll have your word on that then.
Of course. And hey, it's actually pretty awesome that you were able to do this. You just, light up a few incense sticks and here you go. Speak to a ghost.
You're not per day,
Well, shit.
Except not with that spirit. I think it takes... How long does it take to recharge? 10 days is the limit for each particular spirit.
Well, that's still really impressive. You must be a really powerful mage or cleric.
Not really. I spend more time in books than battlefield. Besides, well, let's just say I think you should get rid of that spirit. No offense.
Right, right. Well, she
I don't
did
think it can do
say.
any good having someone have hooks in you like that. Roll another insight check, by the way.
13 this time.
You think she might be a tad jealous? Yeah, she wants her hooks in you, but not in a nefarious way.
Right, right. So, like, kind of scratches the back of his head. Well, she did say she wanted to be laid to rest. Just needed to see a bit of nature, and well, I do know my way around. Could maybe find the places she means. There's some beautiful sights around here. Matter of fact, have you ever, taken a stroll around, seen the sights outside the city?
Not so much in the wilderness. Only a few times, but never alone. Maybe
Right.
maybe once you're finished seeing them with her, you bring me along too.
Well, you
She looks a
you
little put
certainly
out.
look like you might take care of yourself, but it could be dangerous. But hell, there's some really beautiful places I can show you around.
Well, you'd better do that then.
Well, I better do it.
Well, when are we going to do it then?
Well, not sure. Don't suppose you can Well, where was this
You're
orc
to the
camp again? This so I look up I would look at my
Beautiful
mental map
orc
of the area. Is there any good sites between this place and the orc camp?
Ooh, roll survival.
23.
Oh. You saw somewhere incredible, actually, a few miles to the east. You think it was beautiful enough to class as a grove. So a natural grove is like a concentration of natural magic. And what you saw was essentially a gully that had a waterfall running through it, and all the plant growth inside was super lush. It kind of stepped down in platforms. You'd recognize it if you saw it again. In fact, you think you know where it is.
Right. So Gullick's face just lights up and goes, "Oh, yeah, Curse. There's a really nice place actually, not too far from here, on the way to the orc camp."
Really?
I realize the well, an orc camp is not the most nice place, but if you'd care to come around with us, we could at least, well, I could at least show you that place.
I accept your proposition. I'll go with you as far as that place. I have no interest in the orc camp.
Right. Well, fair enough. I'll.
But if you find any artifacts, you can bring them back.
Right. I did promise you I'll look at that blade at least.
Yes. Okay, well, right. You've dug yourself out of that hole.
Suppose. Right.
As
Well,
you went in a hole. I do apologize. I get quite flustered.
that makes two of us. Maybe even three.
You know, I think it's the mead. I think maybe it's stronger than I thought. You should probably go now.
Right.
Maybe in a little bit though. So we'll say you hang out for a little bit more, and as it comes time to go, she actually takes the initiative and kisses you on the lips. And,
Holy shit!
And she seems to be getting possessive, which is not a terrible thing.
Holy shit!
And she's just like, I'll book the day off tomorrow. Let me know when you're leaving.
Well, Curse, I'll get preparations ready.
Very well. Yeah, you're married under some. Not under this. She's also pregnant now as well.
Of course, that's how that works.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So it's you. I'll have to walk back. Having had a very good meaty night, and it's nighttime by the time you get back. Everyone's asleep. Kellogg's pregnant. So
Kellogg just walks back, like, a little disoriented. Like, oh shit! Did that actually just happen? It's...
You hear a whistle, like a wolf whistle.
A wolf whistle?
You know, like...
Oh.
And then like a giggle.
I turn around like, huh?
And you
It's
see it
all
for...
on women's clothes.
Hey, sailor. But no, it's you got just for an impression. You see the outline of a girl walking behind you a few paces, and you see there's like a grin with a giggle, and then she disappears. Smoke.
Well, Kellogg is now properly embarrassed. So yeah, I guess he just hurries off to the. Where are we staying? An inn?
No, you're in
the guild.
Yeah, the guild upstairs.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we'll say, unless anyone has anything else they want to do in particular, we'll start wrapping up this day. And let me gather our folks. That room. Where on earth? Helicon. Boosh. Where's our... Oh, there you go. Right! So feel free to start your long rest. Laminaria, however, you wake with a start in the middle of the night.
Okay. So I don't
And
get
you
my
know
long
it.
rest. Darn it.
You will eventually. But you notice...
It depends, doesn't it? Do I have my 4-hour rest thing?
Oh, like a
It's
short
my
rest, yeah.
trance business. Yeah, for 4 hours.
Yeah, you can do it. But I suppose you're sitting cross-legged, trancing on the bed, and you notice that there's someone sat in front of you on the bed.
What are you doing in here?
And you just hear whispering. You see, like, the figure in front of you is enormous. Perhaps she barely fits in the room, and it seems to be kind of like a crone, I guess. But kind of hunched, but possibly because she's so large, she seems to take up the whole room.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I think I went
but
here, didn't I? That was it. So I scrambled backwards towards the back of the bed, like.
And you notice that she's got very long and strong fingers that end in sharp claws. And the sound that woke you was the sound of her claws clacking against each other as she sort of touches, clicks them against each other. They're sharp claws. And she slowly turns.
Would say.
Yeah, exactly. And she turns her large hooded head towards you, and you see that her eyes are completely black.
Oh.
And she just goes, my follower, would you take this? Can use it? No. It will keep you safe from deception,
Oh.
from treachery. Such things I would not let mine experience.
Well, yes, it would be my honour. While trembling in sort of fear and awe at the same time.
She suddenly moves almost in a very fluid-like way, and suddenly she's like almost on top of you, sort of leaning over you, and her long fingernails have sort of curl around your sort of sleeping clothes, and pull your face up to hers, and she goes, "Can I trust you with this? Tell me now."
Of course you can.
Good. Then take
Never
it.
let you down.
Not yet.
Not
But
yet.
And she reaches into one of her sort of black sleeve. She pulls out a book that is kind of edged in iron, and yet its leather is black, and it has like inset patterns, almost like a kaleidoscope of sort of purple fabric. It's kind of disorienting to look at, but you've had experience with this kind of imagery. It kind of makes sense to you. This would be your book. And she goes, she sort of starts backing toward the door, hunching so she doesn't hit her head on the ceiling. And she is terrifying to look at. Her skin is like a ghostly white, like she hasn't seen the sun in decades. And but she looks strong enough to tear an ox in half. She's quite terrifying. And she just goes, use it well, disciple. Do not let them deceive you. Do not let anyone deceive you.
I
Do
won't.
not let anyone deceive you.
Thank you, Rinda.
And with that, she sort of melts through the door, and is kind of... What a strange lady.
Laminaria almost feels like she's just woken up in a cold sweat, but has realised that she was already awake.
Yeah, you might struggle to relax again after this encounter. Rind is as intense as you remember, as she was the first day that she gifted you powers.
Sure. It's okay. I know she has faith in me with this book. I better keep it safe. Quickly scurries it away, sits on it while she's in a trance, just to keep it safe. No one can take it from her now.
Very good. And with that, you eventually relax, and the rest of the night passes without incident. You get your long rests. And I think we'll basically end it there with, as you wake up the next morning, you come downstairs and you get ready to go. And you see that Bronwyn is waiting downstairs for you.
Ooh.
And she is dressed in her armor and ready to go.
Nice. Well, I guess everyone was asleep when I came back, probably. So Kelek will turn to the group and go, right. So Bronwyn here is going to accompany us for just a bit of the way.
I won't be any trouble. I'm actually quite decent at this kind of thing.
As she says that, I'm going to roll my insight, just because I've been told not to be deceived by anybody. So it's going to be necessary from now on. Sheesh. That was a poor roll.
You don't know if you can trust her. She could mean anything by that.
Well,
You know, she...
well, now because of that that message that I've had from Runda, I'm just there and like, ooh, well, I'm just gonna have to be suspicious of this one.
Trust nothing.
Trust no one.
Right? You should have seen her yesterday. She could, like, she managed to make me speak with Farah, the ghost girl. Really good with magic, she is.
Well, and good at whacking things, I guess, every now and then, if the need arises. I won't let you down. I'll keep you safe. And she gives you sort of a like how would you explain it? Like a fist to the chest salute type of thing, like a pledge, you know.
Oh, that's my line.
As she does that, Oren points at her and goes, "I think you forgot something, though."
What
Where's
did I
your
forget?
trousers?
Her what?
Trousers.
Very funny. I wouldn't fall for such a schoolboy trick. I know that I'm not wearing trousers, but I'm wearing a battle dress.
Oren just goes, "Wah, wah, 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 wah."
I think we found Oron's snarky comeback NPC. Very good. But yeah, we'll leave it there today. For your troubles, this has been quite a roleplay heavy one. I'd say but I think we got a lot done. We discovered some very interesting things. Holy shit, you fucking critting on the Strife Dragon, therefore have 200 XP each.
Oh.
And
Damn.
take it
So
with
troubled. I think we should get
Take
another
it with-
100 on top of that because of how troubled we all are.
Yep.
So it's like 1,108 now then that we're at.
That's what I'm up to, yep.
Very nice.
just for like uncovering world knowledge bonus, that is. And
Thank you, Andres.
yeah.
In the role of
My pleasure.
the knight.
I didn't do anything other than roll a nat 20, but hey.
The fact that it was that one, I was like, man, I gotta do it. I gotta give him. Oh, it's unbelievable. What, that like 5% chance?
Yep.
Oh,
So always there, ready to derail you.
yep.
It always does. It always does too. It's never just some inconsequential thing.
Oh,
You do work.
so does that change your guys' perspective of the guild, knowing what you know now about dragon human form?
Nope, they're gonna
Not
build
yet.
my house. As
I
long as
mean-
they get in my house, I don't care.
I did think about it. Like, I don't know if there's someone in the guild that is instigating,
Mm.
but I'll.
There is a weird ageless guy who claims to be an ageless elf.
Right, there is the old elf and the lich. I was more suspicious of the lich.
Nah, it's too obvious. It's too obvious.
What if that's
But-
exactly why it's hiding as a
No.
lich?
Hear me out. It's actually Tom's character whose name I can never remember. Is Dad.
Drew
Yeah,
Ah,
because they're
More senior.
because
Mhm.
they're from like a deity of the forge or something like that. I did think about that.
What's that?
Oh.
You heard that accent? Cool. Of course they're dragons. There's no way else they could rather do them sound like that and not be dragons.
Smitterson Senior, the BBEG. You've done business with him, but in
Yeah.
reality, it's like his low prices were a front for his nefarious activity.
It's ominous music and it's just him standing over a forge hammering a piece of metal. And it's just a slow tink, tink.
He's just
with
hammering like dragon-shaped armor, dragon skull armor.
Yeah.
It's like
Just some weird, like,
One
brain
day.
rot AI voice, Has this man fixed your armor?
Yeah,
the wanted poster would be hilarious.
it's
He's
eventually
there
like
looking
just
like
business
looking
kid.
so jolly. He's the jolliest looking dwarf. He's like, come buy my shit. This man is a national menace. Kill him on sight. But yeah, no, good. Good job today. I suspected it would be a roleplay heavy session, but I didn't expect to uncover so much stuff. So yeah.
Right then, bye.
GG.
Bye.